guys, welcome back to another video. I am going to take a sippy because it's been a long day. I have been talking to you guys a lot today, a lot. You'll see some of those videos coming up. In this video, I wanted to have a little chit chat with you guys about what I have been doing as far as my health is concerned and my diet regimen. And I did some research and I was putting on some weight. Things were slowing down in the hormone department. Once us women get a certain age, things, you know, we can smell a muffin or a cookie, and that's all we need to do for it to jump on our hips. Seriously, I kid you not. I don't know where it comes from. I have no idea. Air must have calories in it. I'm serious. I think air has calories in it because lately I've been packing it on. Now, I don't know if it's stress or just, you know, sitting in my cube a lot and not walking around, but yeah, it's been expanding. So, I did a lot of research and I've looked at a lot of videos on YouTube, a lot of doctors, a lot of content providers, a lot of health nutritionists, and etc. etc. And I'll put some of the links down below to some of the people and content that I have looked at and that I found very interesting. This is not a push for any one diet over another diet. Just disclaimer, I am not telling you to follow me on this diet or lifestyle change. This is just through my own I guess, revelation of what my needs are. I have had some blood workup in the past few years, and each and every time I have had moderately on the borderline high blood sugar glucose numbers during my fasting annual physical. Okay, the two things that I always had a weakness on was cholesterol and blood glucose. Now, the cholesterol, I am taking a statin for it. I know, but I am for now, and it is helping me pull down my numbers. The blood sugar is not that easy because, you know, you just don't know where to eat, what to eat. My family does have a propensity towards type 2 diabetes. There's a number of people on my father's side that have diabetes. My mother also had diabetes, but we suspect she was actually a late onset type 1. So they call it LADA. It's late onset, like a late adult something something. I don't know what the acronyms are, but basically it's where you're basically a type 1 diabetic, but you get it in your 30s or 40s. You don't get it as a young adult or a teenager or a child, which is what juvenile diabetes usually triggers. That's usually the age frame. But anyway, my biggest fear has always been that, you know, it's only a matter of time. I'm a ticking time bomb, and I will develop diabetes if I go down the wrong path. And to me, the wrong path is gaining a lot of weight, and eating the wrong foods, high carb foods. I've noticed even years and years ago, I used to love this one bran muffin. It was a banana nut branny type of muffin from Publix. It was huge. It was like this big guy, like, okay, this big, you know, really, it was a big muffin, all right? I loved the taste of that muffin. I don't know what it was about that muffin. That muffin was my crack, seriously. I would have that muffin at least 3 to 4 times a week with my coffee in the morning. It had about close to 300 calories, if I'm not mistaken. If I remember correctly, it was something like 280 calories. But who's counting? Because it was wonderful, right? I don't even remember what the carbs were. I don't think I even know what the carbs were. Hang on. But I'll tell you something. I started noticing that I got a major sugar rush from it after I ate it. And I got immensely hungry. I had a huge crash in the morning, like around 10 o'clock, 10:30, which is crazy because I had breakfast around 8. I would be massively hungry. I'd get this huge plunge in my sugar. I guess my insulin was attacking it or something was going on. But I knew this was not right. This is not the way you feel after, you know, breakfast substantially. So I reluctantly cut out that muffin out of my life about 3-4 years ago. And I started realizing that I felt a lot better in the morning if I had a normal, what I call a normal breakfast, which was eggs or oatmeal or some yogurt or fruit, English muffins with some, you know, butter on it or a little bit of the all fruit jam, things like that would carry me a lot longer and a lot better than this very high octane, sugary, wonderful, delightful, delicious muffin. And believe me, I was very sad to give it up. It was not easy for me to give it up. But anyway, moving forward, I have a tendency that if I gain a few pounds, my blood sugar numbers on my fasting numbers seem to creep up. Not significantly, not enough where a doctor is alarmed or says to me, oh my God, you're diabetic, you know, blah, blah, blah. But enough where you know, it's starting to look bad, okay? The cutoff range is about 100 mLs or something like that, milliliters per decimal. I think it's what it is for the American metrics version of what blood glucose is. So I don't know what that equals to the European one. But in the United States, 100 or below is where your fasting blood sugar should be. Anything over 100 is suspect. I was starting to test around 104 or 105 for my fasting blood sugars. I would love it when I had years where I did my annual physical and it was down to 99. I was like praying it was under 100 because it would just barely be there. And you know, the nurse would call you with your stats and she'd say, well, it's a little, you know, it's on the high normal, but you know, just watch what you're eating and, you know, stick to, don't eat too much, you know, sugars and you'll be fine. And basically that's how I was living. All right. Now that I've started this program, and I will tell you that it is the keto diet. I am on the keto diet right now, okay? That doesn't mean I'm going to stay on it. I'll probably morph into more of a paleo for the remainder of my life. But right now I'm very strategically adamant about following the keto diet to bring down the carbs as much as I can. But I was lucky in that I've started this about 4 weeks ago now, going on 5 weeks. And I had because of my statins, I have to have a blood test every 6 months. Okay. 6 months ago, I had a blood test and my fasting blood sugar was 99. I just checked it, so I know. I remember that. It was 99. And my cholesterol was a certain range. It wasn't bad. It was, you know, I don't know, about like 130 or 140, something like that total. And, or maybe even lower. I can't really remember. But in doing this process, this keto diet for now a number of weeks, I was in the time frame where I was retested for my blood sugar just last week because my 6-month statin test was up. Okay, so I had to go back, and I was just I was going, well, if I effed up my body with this keto diet, because I've been on it for about 4 or 5 weeks now, it will show in my blood tests. It will show. The proof will be in the pudding, because those numbers will either be jacked up and something weird will be happening, and my doctor will probably go, what the hell are you doing? What is going on with you? You had these numbers 6 months ago and you're way off base now. And that will answer my question, is keto good for me? That will absolutely definitively answer that question. Well, I went in, I had my blood test. I was so excited. Guys, I've never been so excited to get lab results back. Seriously, I've never been so excited. Waited, went on the patient portal, you know, logged in and everything. And literally when I looked at the numbers, my jaw dropped. Literally, I was like, what? my glucose went from 99 to 90, which is huge. Huge. It was a 9-point drop, maybe not huge to you. The normal range is 75 to, obviously under 100 for your fasting. If you're below that, you're suspect to be hypoglycemic. I think it's hypoglycemic. I can't remember if it's hyper or hypo. I think it's hypo, which is low. And then, of course, then you're suspect to being pre-diabetic because your insulin levels are going wacko. But between 75 and 100 is the ideal range to be for your fasting blood glucose, just so you know that. For me to drop from 99 to 90, I have not had a 90 in my number in I can't even remember, maybe 15 or 20 years. I seriously cannot remember the last time I was under 90 or 95 even. If I was 97, 98 some years, I considered that a success, a marvelous success for me to be under 100. So I definitely saw that. My HDL for my cholesterol stayed about the same. Okay, well, went up a little bit. And then my LDL was lower. So again, eating this high-fat diet, good fats though, but high-fat, moderate protein, and very, very little carbs did not screw up my blood test, okay, for me. Disclaimer, for me. It might do, I don't know what it might do to you. You might be, there are some people that are very sensitive to carb intake, and their cholesterol goes all wacko. So you really have to know your body, and you have to, if you start on this type of diet, this keto diet, I would strongly encourage you to talk to your doctor first that you're planning to get on this diet. And ask for, don't be shy with your doctor, okay? Your doctor is supposed to be your advocate, so don't be shy about this. Tell them the truth that you want to start a diet, you're planning to start one of these diets, and get a blood drawn baseline, okay? Go get your lipid panels done. Go get a fasting blood glucose level done. These are very important markers for you to know if you're doing good. And don't hesitate to ask the doctor if you can come back once you start the diet in a month or two to retake those tests and compare the two results. See if this diet is beneficial for you. Most people it might be, okay? But there are a small percentage of people that it will not work with, and it just because of your body chemistry and what your ability is for dealing with glucose or lack of glucose, okay? It has to do, there are some people that are predisposed to gluten intolerance. There are some people that are predisposed to, being diabetic or very sensitive for that marker. So you don't know till you really figure all this out, if this is going to be good for you or not. Okay, so that's it. That's all I wanted to tell you as far as that's concerned. I, for one, am feeling wonderful on it. I did have 2 days of a drag, what I call a drag, just feeling tired and lethargic and out of it and a little foggy-ish in the brain. I did not have a significant migraine or headache. I did not develop any aches or pains or fever. I did not have what they call a full-blown keto flu for coming down from the carbs, because I'm not a big carb junkie as it is. I don't eat desserts. I don't eat cookies. You know, guys, by now that I eat very healthy, but I do have my fruits. I do have my bananas. I do have a lot of different fruits. I will have pasta. I'm Italian. I need my pasta, okay? So I will have some pasta. I will have some really good Italian bread, or a French baguette, or a croissant every now and then. Really very mildly though. I mean, maybe once or twice a month. We're not talking here daily. But I'm known to like that sort of carbs. I'm more into the bread carbs and the pasta carbs. I'm not really, I've never been a big sweet tooth as far as the cakes, cookies, sugar, candy, that kind of carbs. But we all have our indulgences. Oh, and my chocolate. Don't forget my chocolate. I love my chocolate. We all have our indulgences. Why I chose the keto diet was really two reasons. I looked at the paleo diet and I looked at the keto diet. I knew that they were good. I knew that they were popular. I had seen a lot of information, how healthy they were, and their pyramid structure and all of that. I chose the keto diet because of selfish reasons. I chose the keto diet because I will not give up my dairy. And the paleo does significantly lower your ability to have dairy. I love my cheeses. I absolutely adore my cheeses, you know, my Greek yogurts, things like that, my milks and things. And I wanted to keep that in my repertoire. I wanted to keep going with that. I usually put milk with my protein drink, so I really like that. I've tried the almond milk. I've tried other rice milks and almond milks and stuff. I'm just not a fan of it, guys. I tried my best over the years to try to get used to it. Not a fan of it. So I'd rather drink milk or not drink anything at all as far as that's concerned. I love the fact that I can put a heavy cream into my coffee. I usually have half and half, but I can do heavy if I want. So anything like that, I love. I can have some chocolate, and I'll get into that. And the other thing that I think I couldn't care less about giving up starches. So potatoes, yams. I have a potato maybe once a year, if that, for Thanksgiving. I put the obligatory yam out on the table and I'll have it, or I'll put a baked potato out and I'll have it. I'm not a big potato person. I do like French fries, but you know, I can live without them. I'm not, you know, crazy about them. And my pasta is the biggest thing right now, and my rice or wild rice is the thing that I'm giving up right now. But okay, later on I'll probably, you know, can have a little, especially on the paleo diet. I'll be able to have maybe a little bit. I have found a whole grain pasta by Barilla. Barilla, and I can put it up here. It's whole grain. It has very high fiber in it. So although it's high in carbs, the fiber takes down about half, if not more, of that carb amount. So once in a while, maybe once a week or something, I can have a little pasta indulgence. Otherwise, I don't. I tried the zucchini noodles, guys. I did it once, and you know, fresh zucchini zoodles or noodles or whatever they are. I got it already cut, you know, in one of these containers at like Whole Foods. They don't last worth of nothing. I mean, they don't last worth anything. By the third day, they were all mushy and gooey inside my fridge, and they started smelling horrible. The other thing that I'm not catching on to in to replace my rice, I tried it a couple of times, is the rice cauliflower. If you guys have a recipe for rice cauliflower that you think I would like, that takes away that flavor of blandness, and you know, I can deal with it, please post it below, or let me know. Post the link below so I can grab onto it. So far I've made my my chicken with my sauce that I usually have, and oh man, I put the sauce over the cauliflower instead of my usual brown rice, and I had a few bites, but it wasn't anything I really wanted to do again, so I'm not going to do it. But anyway, that's that. How much weight have I lost so far? Well, going on 5 weeks, I've lost all of about 10 pounds. I'm not very concerned about losing weight. I'm not in it really to lose weight. I'm in it really to change my lifestyle and really basically be proactive about any glucose monitoring. That's my main focus, and to eat healthy. The weight will naturally drop. Everybody says that from the paleo and the keto diet, the weight will naturally come off because of the lack of carbs. It just doesn't stick on you. The fat has nothing to do with keeping the The fat has nothing to do with keeping the weight on you. It just kind of starts to release itself, okay? So I have lost 10 pounds. I fit into my clothes better. I've seen, you know, I've kind of noticed like my face is a little curvier, you know, maybe a little bit more, you know, cut and leaner. I'll probably lose another 5 pounds in the whole arena of this journey, or if not more. I don't want to lose too much more. I don't think that that is very attractive for older women to be, you know, I'll look emaciated. Me personally, I will look wrinkly and emaciated, I think. And, you know, as Zsa Zsa Gabor once said, you know, at a certain age, a woman has to choose between her figure or butt and her face. You know, if you're plumper, your skin on your face looks healthy and beautiful, and the wrinkles are diminished. And basically, if you lose a lot of weight, you tend to sag in your face area, and you tend to start developing wrinkles and sagginess all over. So, you know, you got to choose between your face and your butt. I'm kind of choosing between my face right now. My butt isn't, I don't care, you know, I'm nowhere near Kim Kardashian. I don't have, you know, the curves that she does, but, you know, I'm ample down there. There's nothing missing down there, so I'm okay. And, you know, no one's complaining in this household, and frankly, if they do, it is what it is, you know. Okay, so I'm going to go through. I know this is screwy. Let's see what we're up to right now. Okay, good. We're doing good. Okay, I'm going to run through a couple of really quick things that I've picked up that might help you guys in doing your diet, if you're doing the keto diet or the paleo or anything else. For my water intake, guys, water, okay, hydration. Very important for this diet. I always tell you to hydrate, and I always tell you to drink your water, but now, of all times, it is absolutely crucial, especially in the first few days that you would start this diet, to alleviate any of that keto flu or symptoms. You must hydrate. Okay, so the two things that I use, I pick up, this is just a Boldly Blue and Blackberry flavor by Stir. I really love this, guys. Hopefully it'll come in. Come on in. Come in. Come on. All right. It's not behaving. Do your stuff. It'll find it in a second. Anyway, here, this is the Stir. It's a squeezy bottle, and it's just blueberry flavored. I love this one. It's got stevia in it. And then I love the Mios. Honestly, I love all of the Mios. This is the sport one. It's got electrolytes in it. And again, I don't know why my camera is being really naughty today. Let me just take it off of auto so you guys could see this one better. There you go. It's got the electrolytes in it and B vitamins. This is the Berry Blast one, Mios Sport. 0 calories in it, so indulge yourself. It puts a pretty blue, in fact, I have it in my cup today, right now. I don't know, oh gosh, I hope I don't spill this. Okay, there, guys. Can you see that, how pretty blue that is? I got some ice in it and my Mio in there, and that has the electrolytes. You see, I don't kid you. This is not vodka in there or anything. There, I put my thing back. So I love this one. This is one of my favorite ones. It has a wonderful taste to it, very light taste to it, and I absolutely adore it. And it really helps you push the water down, because I'm not a big water drinker when it's not flavored. Plain water just does not thrill me. But if I throw some lemon in it, if I throw a squirt of this or that flavoring in it, I can take it down. I can seriously chug it down. Okay, the next thing I picked up, and these are the two things that you will need on this diet if you want any type of resemblance of pancakes, bread, muffins, anything like that. If you want to, you know, like trick your body or trick your palate into making and baking stuff, you will need almond flour, and this is blanched almond flour. This is gluten-free baking, of course, and this has total carbs of 3 carbs per 2 tablespoons. So, I mean, you know, it adds up, but it's not horrible. And it's really 3 grams of carbs, but dietary fiber is 2 grams. So you're supposed to minus out the dietary fiber from the total carbs. And so your total sugars is really 1 gram, and that's it. So it's 1 gram of sugar for each 2 tablespoons. And if you use a little bit, you know, even if you're making something that calls for, let's say, half a cup of flour, you're not eating, you know, the whole entire batch of whatever you're making. I mean, usually when people bake, it's usually a serving of 4 to 6. So if you divide that all down, it's not bad. And then along with that, I have picked up organic coconut flour. Now, oh my gosh, this smells like a little Hawaiian beach. It is so wonderful. It is so sweet smelling. It just has the best, you know, that little something that you need. Now this one has a little higher carbs. It's 9 carbs for 2 tablespoons. So usually what I do is I put the almond flour as the main flour. And then on some of these recipes that I found, and I think it was a pancake recipe, as a matter of fact, which I did make this weekend, it called for like a third of a cup of coconut flour, and then a full, I think 3/4 of a cup of almond flour. And then you add eggs and all that other stuff and make the pancakes. So you do definitely use less of the coconut flour than you usually do of the almond flour. But this just adds a wonderful, wonderful texture to it, a wonderful sweetness to it. And it says here you could substitute coconut flour for 20% of wheat flour. For every half a cup of coconut flour, add 2 to 3 eggs or extra liquid for, you know, whatever you're cooking. So there's multiple recipes right now on YouTube with coconut flour because of the keto and paleo diet. So definitely worth going. I got this at Walmart. It wasn't expensive at all, and I got the almond flour at Walmart too. So none of these are, you know, expensive. And then the third thing I got, which I love, you know me, chocolate, Hersheys Cocoa, 100% cocoa, natural, unsweetened. It's 10 calories for 1 tablespoon, 0 sugars, 0 sodium, 0 saturated fat. Good old Hersheys Cocoa. I love this. It is bitter, of course, because there's no sugar whatsoever in it. Oh, and the total carbs is 3 grams, and it's 2 dietary grams, which you minus out. So your sugars are literally 0 grams for 1 tablespoon. So I use this. Okay, so one of the things I made this morning for my breakfast, which was amazing, was ricotta cheese. I took about like a third of a cup of ricotta cheese, which I love. And I put, I'd say about 1 tablespoon of cocoa in there, and I mixed it up. And then I squirted a couple of just the natural, not these, but the natural stevia in it. I have the liquid one, so I squirted a little squirt of that in there, and I you know, stirred it all around. Oh my gosh, it was like chocolate mousse. It was this creamy, maybe like chocolate cheesecake, almost like chocolate cheesecake. It's like, think of having chocolate cheesecake for breakfast, and you're allowed to have it. And the ricotta is pretty low in carbs. I think it's only like 3 or 4 grams per serving. And of course the cocoa is 0 and the stevia is 0. So I indulged in that this morning. Oh my gosh, it was so good. It was so good. You can sprinkle this cocoa on a lot of things. You can make a lot of things with it. You could put it on top of your almond flour pancakes. You know, you literally go to town with it. you know, if you have heavy whipping cream, you could whip up heavy whipping cream and put some cocoa in it and a little stevia and have that as a topping for some of your berries that you're allowed to have some berries, you know, on this diet for your dessert. So you can really do a lot of things with cocoa. Seriously, you really can. So these are just my staples. It's not everything in my pantry. Along with that, of course, avocado oil, olive oil, which I've always had. Avocado oil, again, I found pretty cheaply at Walmart. It was about $9 or $10. I heard from a coworker that Costco has a two pound avocado bottle for like $8. So wherever you can find avocado oil at a good price, grab it because it's a really good thing to have. I have not picked up lard yet. I'm not going down that route right now. I do have butter. I just have the Land O'Lakes butter. I know a lot of people use the Kerrygold butter because it's free range and blah, 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 blah. I probably will pick that up later on. I have used it before. It's wonderful. I have no problems picking it up. I just happen to have Land O'Lakes for now. And I bought the one that has the olive oil in it, mixture of olive oil along with the butter. So I'm really liking that, guys. I really, really love that as a topping, you know, for some of these things and to cook with it, of course. So that's it. That's all I wanted to tell you. Thank you so much again for joining me and sticking it out with me. And if you found any of this helpful, I really do hope that you did find it helpful and that you can have an educated you know, background on maybe which way you want to go, if you do want to delve into this type of diet. If not, again, I will monitor myself carefully. I will check back with you guys periodically about my health, if I'm having any symptoms, any side effects, any, you know, being run down or anything like that. I will check back with you guys and I'll give you my honest feedback on this. I'm not being sponsored by the keto companies or anybody. This is just me doing me. And I just want to make sure that I put that out there honestly for you guys as best to my ability as I can, okay? I have not gotten a keto stick, by the way, the little pea sticks. I haven't picked that up yet, and I don't know if I will. I know that what I'm doing is okay right now. I am logging all my macros in the Lose It app. So if you want to pick that app up, it's in the Android phones and in the iTunes, you know, up on iTunes. And I believe it's free. I did pay for the premium one, but only because it unlocked some features that I really wanted. But you don't need to unlock it to, you know, to track all your food intake, and it'll give you your carb countdown and everything. Or some YouTube content providers have said that there's another app called Carb Master. That's another really good app. It looks very similar to the Lose It app, very, very similar. So it just take your pick, you know, whichever one you want. I highly recommend that you do track your whatever you're eating, not because of the real calories, although I think you should watch. I'm one of those advocates. I'm not going to eat whatever I want as much as I want. I do try to fit into a certain calorie, you know, not restriction. I don't want to say restriction, but a balance so that I don't, you know, go crazy nuts over everything. But those two apps are really great. One thing I did want to mention, aside from the rundown keto flu thing, is the only other thing that I had as a biological, you know, feedback from my body, because of the high fat content, going high fat. The first few days you will have some TMI, loose bowel movements. You really will. You might need to go real quick, like right after you eat or have dinner. It will come on you suddenly. You might have some cramping. And it's just your body getting used to this way and switching over its mechanism. And it's basically you're flushing out a lot of stuff that your body has been hanging on to. So a lot of that stuff coming out, whether you're going to the bathroom a lot, peeing, or whatever else you're doing, your body is definitely going through a change that first week. So just know that that's going to happen. Don't be frightened of it when it happens. These are some of the things that will happen, you know, and it's a natural thing. Now, if obviously you're in agony and you know, you're in a lot of pain, and you know, stop what you're doing. And again, like I said, please do this under the advice of a doctor. Okay, don't just go willy-nilly. I don't know you. I don't know your personal health background, so I cannot advise you as a person here on YouTube. I cannot advise you and say, oh yeah, blah blah, you go girl, you go get all that stuff and you go get on that diet. I'm not going to tell you that. Okay, I'm only going to tell you what I've been through, what I'm doing, and how my body's reacting to it. Okay, I love you. I hope it wasn't too long. I love you guys very much. Stay well, stay blessed, have a wonderful week out there today, this week, you know, coming up. And man, fall is, God, almost around the corner. Can you believe it? I see pumpkins in Kirkland's, which is a store here, and other stores. I see the Halloween. I literally saw Halloween decorations at Home Goods this weekend, and I saw pumpkins up at another store. And the kids are just going back to school now. So wow, this year has just flown by. Anyway, I love you guys. Keep well. I will see you in my next video. Bye.